Okay, so today we're going to jump right into 7 ways to prepare for an unexpected move. Now, you're going to say to yourself, well, how can I prepare for something that's unexpected? Shouldn't I be ready for the unexpected? Yes, that's the best way to be prepared. Be ready at any time for the unexpected. There are many things that could come up in life that would create a need for people to move out of their current residence, okay? Whatever the reason, I wouldn't know the reason, but I do, I mean, in your case, however, there could be a myriad of reasons. Just know that it's always better to be ready. And getting ready is always best, okay, in my opinion, during when? Quieter times. Quieter times. So I outlined a few suggestions, okay? All right, number one, while things are nice and quiet, oops, sorry about the electronic sound in the background, set up a specific name it and claim it fund. Yes, set up a specific name it and claim it fund in a bank account for a bank account. For example, you could create a fund reserved only for relocating or moving expenses. Even if you want to switch to another apartment in the same neighborhood or area in the city that you like, and for whatever the reason there's just issues in your current space and you just want to be ready, they ask for a lot of money up front, sometimes a couple of months in advance, rent and all this and that. And of course, if you deal with the realtor trying to help you find the space, whatever, things add up in a hurry. So instead of scratching your head going, what am I going to do when the time is necessary, take that advance notice. So set up a specific name it and claim it bank account just for the purpose of being ready for something like that. Okay? All right. Next. So you open the account and start with whatever funding you could put in. Next. If you are in the process of moving, sell your unwanted items before trashing them and before giving them away. Let me repeat this. If you are in the process of moving, or even if you're not in the process of moving, start getting rid of things you no longer use or no longer want. And you could earn cash doing this. Sell your unwanted items before trashing them or giving them away. One man or woman's trash is another person's treasure. Never ever forget this. I couldn't believe what I saw not long ago on a video. For example, there was, as they call, a picker, a person that's into reselling. That person found, remember back in the 90s and the 80s, they had those big water guns, like those fun that you play with in the backyard, fill them up with water and everybody. Well, somebody picked one up for $1 and they resold it. They resold it on a major selling platform. That person paid $1, and guess what? The person sold it for $84. Imagine, that's just an example. How many people would have looked at that item, considered it an eyesore, and just throw their hands up in the air and just walk away from it? So repeat, repeat. If you are in the process of moving, sell your unwanted items before trashing or just giving them away. At some point, you may have to trash, and at some point, you may want to just give them away. But more about that in a minute. Next, whatever unwanted stuff is left over, offer a free giveaway. I did this myself. I utilized Craigslist a few years back. I put ads on Craigslist for anybody that wanted to pick up a used mattress. I didn't want to have to be bothered with a removing on my own queen size mattress from an upstairs bedroom and all that I knew I wasn't going to take with me to my other location. So I put up the ad, I cleaned the mattress, do everything I could, and within 1 hour, I had somebody come over and take that mattress away. That person had children, and guess what? It was a huge help to that person. So instead of me paying someone to remove the mattress, someone picked it up for me, and it cost me absolutely zero. As a matter of fact, I did the same thing with my tool shed. Okay. So at a tool shed, I did the same method, except in that case, it was paid for. I received an offer within an hour, less than an hour for the tool shed. They paid me for it and they came by and they had their tools, they picked it up and they removed the tool shed. They were only too happy to remove that tool shed. It was absolutely phenomenal. All right, so instead of myself paying an outsider to do this, I had them do this and I received either for free or for a price. I received the cash. So consider that. Next, consider donating and really meaning it to your local Goodwill. Okay, if you're just overwhelmed with everything, you do not wish to deal with it, you do not wish to sell it, don't pay someone else. Don't pay someone else to remove your trash unless you absolutely have no choice. But cut down on expenses, because every expense that you cut down on is going to be preparation money for your actual move. Okay, it could be a couple of months mortgage or a couple of months rent if you think about it, right? So donate to your local Goodwill. Just drive over there, and there are those areas where you could just drop off the donations. It depends on your location, where you're living, and all this and all that. It's a thought for you to consider. Okay. Next, begin a side hustle with an end goal in mind. Let's say that at the moment you don't have to move out of necessity. Just don't have to do it, right? Let's pretend that you don't have to do that. Okay. Well, then that's a good thing. What does that mean? It buys you that wonderful extra calming time, for example, to make calm, collected decisions, right? And turn it into savings. You see, that's the key to everything. Have you not noticed that in your life? For example, if you shop ahead of time, when it's not like, oh my gosh, I have to hurry, hurry, hurry and do it. Now, some people prefer to work under that kind of pressure. Honestly, I am not one of those. I'm just going to say the truth. I personally don't believe that I work well under pressure at all whatsoever. Instead, I prefer to do things in advance at my own pace, nicey nice, slowly but surely. And for me, it seems to work. Let me know in the comment section below if that could be you. All right, I appreciate that. So while times are quiet, you can consider or just jump into it. Have a yard sale. Okay. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your home except for having your yard sale or your garage sale or your gate sale. It can be a lot of fun as well. Who knows? You might even really love the idea of reselling. I know I've been talking a lot about this because there are a lot of people that say they can't do this, they can't do that. One thing everybody could do, especially when times are hard, they could take already owned items that they no longer use and they could offer it in such a way as at a yard sale or garage sale and this and that. Listen, there are many resellers out there that are looking for it. I have to tell you though, there are a couple of shows that I have watched, there are a couple of shows that I have actually watched where I don't understand some of the folks at those yard sales and at those garage sales. I'm talking about the folks that are holding the sale itself. For example, if somebody comes in and they're willing to buy a whole bunch of stuff from your sale, from your yard sale, I don't think it makes any sense to query the customer who is willing to spend the money that you listed for an item on your yard sale. Oh, are you going to resell it? Almost as if to make the person who is the reseller out to be like the bad person. They're not being a bad person, they're just a person in business, okay? And that's what they do. They buy things at a lower cost and they resell them at a little bit of a higher cost. But of course, they make it hopefully affordable to the person at the end of the line who really, really wants it. So when I see a person holding the yard sale trying to sell things at retail as if brand new, that I don't understand. I'm just saying that to anybody who's listening that may be holding one of those sales, that to the would be person that's there, it just doesn't make sense to the person that wants to make a purchase. Okay. And it's also kind of rude to like suggest, oh, you're a reseller. Or they'll go on eBay and they'll measure the comps. If you're that interested, to get the comp price, then why don't you list that item on eBay instead of questioning the would-be customer at your yard sale? You see where I'm going with this? I just think it's a rude practice. And don't try to like say, oh well, it's brand new. If it's not brand new, if you didn't get it brand new. Let's start this one over again. The item is no longer, quote, end of quote, brand new. That's a tricky statement. Brand new is its own entity. You have to be very careful when you're selling. It is no longer brand new. Okay, so if there's been some sort of other processes to it, but that's its own show, and I wouldn't mind taking the time to talk about that in the future for anybody that's interested. All right, everybody, I just thought I'd let you know some tips or tricks to get yourself ready for a possibility that, well, you didn't expect. That's what it is. It's an unexpected thing. So don't forget to create your name it and claim it fund at the bank. Okay. Create the fund slowly but surely. Pretend as if you just have to take off and move. Just imagine if you did that for a couple of years in advance. Can you imagine how prepared you will be for the next move and come out ahead of the game instead of always backtracking? You see where I'm going with this. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate everybody's time. Don't forget to come back the next day, every single day of the week. When? At 5 a.m. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. Take good care of yourself and your lovely family. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. And super thanks are forever welcome. Thank you.